How things were before the battles. Just you and me.
In the Land of Blood and Honey is the new directorial debut from actress and humanitarian Angelina Jolie. The film is a love story set against the backdrop of the Bosnian War. The movie takes place in Sarajevo before and after the war, and it follows the love story between a Serbian soldier and a Bosniak woman who was held captive in his camp. Jolie also wrote the film, and she talks about the early development of the script.
So I sent it to lots of different people who'd either lived through the war or were correspondents during the war, and it got many different opinions from many different sides, and started to realize how complex the situation was, because you send it to 3 people on different sides, and everybody's got an extremely different opinion, and tried to find that balance. So I was listening to people from all sides and trying to construct some kind of, but it was never intentionally. At first, it was just to write a story that would be universal and kind of a relationship that could have been a beautiful relationship, could have ended in family and children and happiness and love and what war does to that relationship. And
casting was one of the most important aspects to Angelina Jolie. She talks about why she chose a local cast.
I felt it had to be a local cast, and it would have to be people from the area because the story belonged to them. And then, you know, I think being in Hollywood and being an actor in Hollywood, you hear so many times, if you say we want to cast the European neighbor or the husband or the thing, there's this very short list of actors, you know, and there isn't that faith in the talent internationally. And so, you know, so many studio films or people they just don't look beyond certain countries. And so I was hoping, and I assumed that there's great talent everywhere, but then when I started to see the tapes, I felt like I'd uncovered one of the most extraordinary things. I suddenly saw these actors who could act so strong in more than one language, who could sing, who had a depth of emotion that I myself could never understand, who majority of them lived through this war and stayed here during this war, and were so, just even in their auditions when they talked about who they were during the war, what they went through, what they saw, what they witnessed. Many of them cried during their auditions, many of them hadn't spoken about things, many of them, and then they did their scenes, and their scenes were extraordinary.
In the Land of Blood and Honey opens in theaters December 23rd.
And I thought about you. And then I wondered, would she kill me if she had the chance?